Hello everyone, welcome to the Someone Who Crafts podcast. This is episode number 3. My name is Tegan and let's begin. As for finished objects, unfortunately I don't have any. The week after I filmed my previous episode, number 2, I got COVID, unfortunately. Caught it from my mum, who caught it from my brother. So I was really under the weather. My first time having COVID, actually. And yeah, so I wasn't feeling really good and I had a lot of trouble working on my whips. So I didn't really get much done that week. So as of finished objects, I don't have any. But yeah, let's get on to what I am working on at the moment. The first thing I've been working on, I casted this on when I did have COVID. Or not casted on, but I started. It's a knit term, but it's actually crochet, or Tunisian crochet. So my first whip is the Pilson blanket and I'll leave all the information about this and the video for it in the description below if you want to have a look at how to make it. So this is the Pilson blanket by Tony Lipsy, or TLYarnCrafts. So I should try and get it in camera, but this is what I have so far. It's a join as you go blanket, so here you can see is where I'm working, and you work back and forth, and you join it to the previous row as you go up, as you come to this side. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. Really enjoying working with this. The colours I am using, I'll tell you what colours I'm using. I'm using the 4 Seasons Spot Saver 10 ply 100% acrylic yarn, the 200 gram ones, these ones. So the colours I'm using for this blanket are Aqua, it's called DK Pink, Peacock, Pumpkin, and my main colour, which is every other square, which is silver. I'm not sure what colour I'm going to border it in, because the pattern calls for a border, so I'm not sure what colour I'm going to border it in, but tell me what colour you guys reckon I should border it in. With these being my colours, what colour do you think I should do the border? Like black, white, maybe something else that you can think of, or one of the colours that are already in the blanket? I'm not sure. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Okay, that's the first whip. So my next one is my cardigan I've been working on. Oops, that's come off. Oh well. My green and purple cardigan that you guys saw last episode that I started. Oh, I've just lost my end keepers here. Where are they? There they are. Okay, there we go. Now we're all together. Alright, so here's the cardigan, what I've got so far. So that's the back panel. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm up to my 7th stripe. Each stripe is 8 rows. I'm following, I think it's Ikoxun is how you pronounce it. I'm following her tutorial. It's not really a tutorial, it's more of her showing how she makes it, but I'm following that video of how to make a chunky fall cardigan, or fall. It's coming to spring here in Australia, but for you guys, American guys, it's coming to autumn. So I'm following her video on how to make it. Here's what it looks like. There we go. It's just basically with stockinette stitch all the way, and the bottom is I think it's 1x1 rib, so knit 1, purl 1 all the way across. Oh, and if I didn't mention before, the Pilson blanket was Tunisian crochet, if I forgot to say that. But yeah, this one's knit, and yeah, I'm enjoying working on it. I'm like interested in every time I finish a colour. I'm like, oh, I know what the next colour's going to look like because it's just the 2 colours. But I'm like, oh, on to the next colour, yay. I'll just do a few more rounds, rows and get to the next colour. A few more rows, get to the next colour. So that's how I've been able to work on it. Yeah, so basically the knit on this side and purl on that side. And this is the back panel. I think I cast on 90 stitches for the back panel. I know that's pretty big, but I want it quite oversized. I'm working on 9mm circular knitting needles, and I've joined 2 cords together to make a long cord because it's quite long, if you can see that there, quite big. So yeah, that's another whip I'm working on at the moment. If I didn't say before, which I don't think I did, I have about 6 or 7 or so whips if you want to get technical on how many I have. I am still working on the green and black cardigan, granny square cardigan, which I showed in my last video. There's not much change, it's just making more squares, basically, granny squares. And the patchwork pink and blue cardigan, I've made probably 1 more patch since I last showed you guys what I was working on. So I haven't done that many, but yeah, that's basically the same. I won't really show you much until I start joining things together, because it doesn't look any different each square to each square. So that's why I'm not showing you that today. I started back with my puff quilt. So in the first video, if you want to go back and watch it to see how many I've done, I am making these little puffs. This is the colourway I'm using at the moment. No, I don't think I have what colourway it is. It's probably a number. Let me just have a look. Yeah, it's a number. It's just this, sorry I don't have the number on me because I didn't keep the band when I did this. I wasn't keeping bands back then when I opened this one. So that's the colour I'm using. It is, I can tell you the brand, it is the Marvel Printed 8-ply 100% acrylic yarn. So that's the brand of it, but I don't know the colourway, sorry. Yeah, but this is what the puffs look like. So I'm doing a 20 by 20 blanket. So 20 puffs by 20 puffs, and I basically have to make 400 to get a blanket size. So I've made, I'll tell you how many I've made. Where did I put my book? Oh yeah. Okay, so I've made, because I keep track of how many I made, I've made 76. So I need to get to 400 to make a blanket size. Yeah, they're quite small. This is my hand. They're like quite small. Yeah, so it's basically, there's a YouTube video on how to make them. I'll tag it in the description below if you want to watch how to make it. You basically make a chain and then crochet into both sides of the chain. So you make a little like ring basically, and then you work around and around till you get to the top. And then you stuff it with some stuffing, which I just have polyfill, just regular polyfill, that I have a big bag of, so I keep it in that jar for easy moving. And then you whip stitch the end together. I know I'm flying through these, but there's not much to talk about, sorry. But oh, my next project or whip I'm working on, which I'm quite enjoying. If you don't remember, in a previous video I was making a bucket hat that was just this colour, but that was the 3rd time making it and I was kind of sick of making it, so I scrapped it basically, or put it on ice. Put it up, if you can see up there. That's where I put my whips that I don't want to work on anymore. Or there's only 3 things up there. It's not like a whips, like heaps of them. But yeah, that's where the stuff goes that I'm not working on or I don't want to work on at the moment. But I don't want to frog it basically. So this is the bucket hat that I restarted. It's a checkered bucket hat, because I saw a video on YouTube pop up in my For You, like my, not For You, but like recommended. It was a checkered bucket hat. This doesn't quite fit yet. Like I put it on and it's quite tight. I'm not going to put it on because it'll look like a bit silly, but it's very tight at the moment. So I have to maybe rip it back and do some increases, just like along here, and make it come out a bit more, because it is quite very tight on my head. Like it's a bit of a stretch to get it over. And yeah, so I might have to rip it back a bit and increase it. But yeah, I'll tag the YouTube channel tutorial in the description below. But this is, I'm using a 4.5mm hook, and yeah, this is what I've got so far. So I'm doing the hot pink and black, and the yarn I'm using is, it's the, I won't get it, but it's at the back, the Carnival 8-ply yarn. So that's the one I'm using for the pink, and the black is this usual stuff I use, which is the this one here, the Marvel 8-ply 100% acrylic 100 grams. So that's what I'm using at the moment for the black. Alright, as for my knitted socks, I've done a little bit. but not too much. So you probably won't be able to tell, excuse that cleaning, you probably won't be able to tell how much I've done, but I've done about 5-ish rows. So I was, there we go, if you can see it. So that stitch marker or pin is just so I know where the beginning of the round is. So that's what I've got so far. It's not very much. I am using 100% merino wool, so I'll be using these as bed socks because I know you need nylon in them to make them sturdy. So I've done 32 rounds for the leg of the sock, and I need 59. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. So I'm getting through that. That's my kind of long-term project. So as it goes, it just goes. Basically, I work on it when I feel like it. So that's basically how that is. Okay, and that's all the whips I have to talk about. So now on to the next segment. Now, a little bit about me, or just stuff I generally want to talk about. First off is, I forgot to show last video, this is my neck light. It sits like that, and you just put it around your neck, basically, and you turn it on like that, and it goes different brightnesses. And I use this for when I'm crocheting in either dim lighting or at night time in my room, so I don't disturb anyone, or basically so you can see. It really helps with black yarn when you're working with black yarn, because I know it's quite hard to see the stitches and everything, so that does help being able to see what you're working on. I did get that on Amazon. I won't put the thing in the link in the description because I use Australian Amazon and it won't come up for you Americans. So if you just type in neck light, it will come up in Amazon. That one, the brand is Glowcescent? I don't know. That's the name of it. So yeah. Next is saving scraps. So I'm not really super eco-friendly like I do a slow, or if you consider crochet and knit slow fashion, I do that. But the thing I do try and be eco on is saving my yarn scraps. So if you see here, that's all my yarn scraps, and I collect them on my yarn trolley, which is here. So I have this sitting on my yarn trolley, and every time I have a scrap I put it in here, and then when this is full, which it is getting pretty full, I have to empty it, I empty it into this laundry bag, and then I use it for stuffing things. So there. So I just save all my scraps. Instead of just throwing them in the bin and all that little bits of yarn going to waste, you may as well just use it as free stuffing, and then it saves you on polyfill. Yeah. I also got this knit bag, if you want to see it. It's new, so that's why I'm going to show it to you. It was from Temu. It's got my knitting needles in it and stuff. Yeah, so it has a bit where you can feed the yarn through. You can see through here and through here. And yeah, it's very roomy. I wanted it big enough so I could fit my this yarn bowl. So this yarn bowl, this one, sits in the bottom of that perfectly. It fits in there easily, and I just carry that's only for knitting, because I have also my crochet one from Temu. I normally don't shop on Temu, but for that sort of thing it was quite expensive on Amazon, so I thought have a look at Temu. And yeah, it's pretty good quality. It's lasted really well. The crochet bag I got from Temu also is similar, similar material and quality, and they're actually pretty good. I do recommend them. I'll leave a link for it if I can find it in the description below. Now, I want to quickly touch on, if it's not your thing, just skip forward a bit, but I got this tarot deck. It's a Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. I've always really been interested in tarot, and I've always wanted to dip my toes into it and see what's it about. I'm not really using it as predicting the future, because I don't believe it can do that, and no one can. I believe it can offer you guidance on decisions and questions you may have about life and personal things. So I'm using it as a guidance tool. They say to use a tarot deck, what I've researched, or the little bit I've researched, they say to use a tarot deck that you feel connected with, and I really do feel connected with this one. When it was sitting on my shelf yesterday, I kept feeling like, oh, I need to use it. It's like almost like it's calling to me, if that makes any sense, or if that sounds a bit silly. Like it was like, come use me, come use me, come give me a try. So I gave it a shot yesterday, and I'm actually writing it. I'm not going to show you what I was writing, but I write it in this book, because, you know, it's Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck, Nightmare Before Christmas book, just to matchy match. So I write, like, what I draw and what I get, like, what results I get from the questions and what day I've done it and that sort of thing. So I'm just dipping my toes into the world of tarot. So that's pretty fun and interesting. I'm also going back into drawing. If you didn't know from my previous videos, you can see on my channel are drawing videos. So I'm actually getting back into doing some drawing. I will show if I have any finished pieces or finished artwork. I will show it on here at the end in the About Me section. So if you're not interested, you can just click off or skip it. But I haven't finished anything as yet, so I have nothing to show with that. Now, I did ask on my Facebook page that I'm following about knit and crochet. I asked for some unpopular opinions, just based on like what people think, like unpopular opinions about knitting and crochet. I've seen a couple people do this in their videos, and I thought it looked fun. So I'm just going to read a few and just basically discuss what I think about them, or if I agree or disagree, or what are my thoughts. So yeah, that's what the rest of this video is going to be about. So the first one, I'm not going to say by who they're by, because I didn't mention that I was going to put it on my YouTube channel, because when I did that, the like, what is it, moderators of the page would take down the post because that's advertising apparently, but I don't know how that's advertising considering I'm not selling anything. But yeah, so I'm not going to keep everyone anonymous. So someone said, just because you know how to crochet now doesn't mean you have to make something for literally everyone in your life for every occasion. I'd say I agree with that. I was going to make a crochet or a knit item for someone that I know, but I then came to the realization, would they appreciate it? And two, they're not really in my life. They don't make any effort to see me or contact me, so why would I bother making them and sending them something, basically. So that's wasting my time. So I agree with that comment. Someone said they love magic rings. I do too, in crochet. They're really handy, really easy to do once you get the hang of it. I'll leave a link in the description below of my video I followed on how to make a magic ring. Yeah, and that was when it clicked for me how to make them. So once you get it, it's really easy to do. It's really easy to use, and yeah. So once you figure it out, they're actually pretty handy. Someone said glue is disgusting. I think they mean like when you glue stuff to projects. Like when you glue in with your yarn. I don't know how I feel about that, because I have glued, I've made worry worms before with this yarn here. Next time I make some, I will show it to you guys, because I make them for my mum to give to her people she works with and her clients. So, because she's a support coordinator. So people with mental health and that sort of thing, they use it as like a worry worm to whisper their worries and anxiety to. So yeah, I have glued eyes onto those worms before, and I thought it looked alright. Like you couldn't see the glue and it stuck pretty well. So I can't say I agree with that one. So they also said knots are lazy and unprofessional. I don't think I agree with that one. It depends. If you're doing a knot instead of weaving your ends in, that might be a bit lazy, but then lazy is not a really good word, but like you might be cutting corners, and I would worry that then it would come undone, whatever you're just not weaving in and just knotting, because knots can come undone. I rather weave in my ends and make it look all smooth and neat and seamless. So it's really up to you whether you want to make a knot or if you want to weave in your ends, but yeah, it's up to the person who's making the item. They said velvet yarn is overrated. I can't say I've really used velvet yarn. I don't know if chenille yarn counts as velvet yarn, because I've used chenille before to make socks, like crochet socks, bed socks, and that turned out okay. So I don't know what they mean by velvet yarn is overrated. The next one is the vendor fair takeover of leggy frogs, mushrooms and bees are getting obnoxious. Which I kind of agree. You basically see that everywhere there's anything crochet being sold. And it's kind of, not obnoxious, but it's kind of getting, like that trend is getting a bit old, I think. So I think people should try and do some different things. Yeah, try and do some different things. Sorry, I'm just looking for more comments. Someone said, if you leave a long enough tail on your magic ring and crochet over it as you go, it won't come undone, and if it does, you did it wrong. I kind of agree on that. If you do crochet over your magic ring tail, it shouldn't come undone. If you, for example, I don't have anything with magic ring on it. Hold on, maybe I do. No, I don't. Not handy. Never mind. Yeah, so if you go like with the magic ring and then you crochet over the tail and then also take a darning needle and go around the ring and sew it into the ring that you just made, basically it won't come undone. So, and if it does, then yeah, you might have done it wrong. But I found that if you do that, it won't come undone. Someone says I don't do swatch tests, which I don't either. If it's for knitting, I sometimes will, or I'll just make the cast on and then hold it up to myself with it being on the cord and not on the needles, so it kind of gives a more accurate view of what the size is going to be like. But yeah, I haven't had to do a swatch test of late because I haven't made many clothing pieces. But I think I'll do swatch tests for knit, but I don't think I'll do it. I'd never do it for crochet. Crochet, it is what it is. So, yeah. Someone said it is entirely possible to weave in most of your ends as you crochet rather than doing it all at the end. Yes, I agree with this 100%. I do not wait till the end to weave in all my ends because that would be a nightmare and I would probably just not do it then. So I do weave in as I go. When I did my temperature blanket, which you saw in the first episode, I definitely, each square I did, because I did the 12 squares. Sorry about the jump there, my camera was just telling me it's running out of battery. Yeah, so this was the last one I'll read. So weaving in most of your ends as you crochet rather than doing it all at the end. Yeah, as I was saying, I definitely weave in my ends as I go. I don't leave it to the last minute and do it all at the end when I'm about to finish. I definitely weave in as I go. It makes it way easier to finish projects then without having all the ends dangling and leaving it like that at the end. So that's all from me, I think. Sorry if this video is a bit shorter than my normal videos. Obviously I'm using a new camera. I'm using the Canon EOS 3000D. It's a DSLR camera. I got it for an early Christmas present from my mum. So yeah, and the tripod that's sitting on as well. If you saw my Instagram post, I posted it on my Instagram page, which I'll leave link down below to my Instagram page if you want to follow me. And it's also, I think, linked in my YouTube, on my YouTube channel, or it might be, I have to add it, I think. Yeah, so I think I've showed everything. So that's all from me. Don't forget to stay hydrated and take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.